Ghislaine was as much a victim as anyone else. That's so MAGA. That is so MAGA. And I can only hope that person has no women in his orbit. Huh? His account says Washington, D.C. So we got to claim him? Put him over there by RG3. Shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. Now, we saw before the congressional recess the shift that was happening on right-wing media for people who decided it would be okay for them to be complicit in a potential Epstein cover-up forevermore.
I believe Trump's in the Epstein files insofar as he was friends with Epstein for 15 years. He knew Epstein. And there are people who hate Trump who probably threw some scurrilous allegations in there. But nobody believes Trump had an affinity for the underage girl. That's just such bullshit. You know, maybe he was at some Epstein party. Trump says he never went to Epstein Island, and I believe that too. That would be something to extraordinarily lie about.
We saw Megyn Kelly. We also saw Charlie Kirk, because nothing says, I call it like I see it, like completely changing my tune after being contacted by the president. That is pretty much as independent as media can be, huh?
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
I haven't seen Charlie Kirk shift like that since Ray. Actually, he's never shifted on racism. He's been pretty consistent in that regard. He's a very consistent op. Not like, say, I don't know, Alex Jones, who changes his tone by the day.
I'm getting really concerned here at this point because the flip-flopping and the 180ing and the going back is just the biggest train wreck I've ever seen. And it's not in character for you to be acting like this. So we want your agenda to succeed. I've done deep research, never saw you involved with Epstein and criminal activity. So why are you acting like this? You made a deal with the establishment to leave you alone. Have they rolled over? U.S. intelligence we know is involved, Mossad, CIA, MI6, we already know that. But instead, you just continue to say nothing to see here, move along, though go ahead and release information, but there's no information to release. Contradiction for contradiction, flip-flopping to flip-flopping, 180s on 180s on 180s. Jesus, I'm on a roller coaster here. And then, oh, it's only fake news is concerned. Oh, like MTG and Tucker Carlson and myself and Joe Rogan and the American people. This is something that finally got our attention. People finally woke up to this. People finally understand, a window in the deep state with all this. And so you signing on to this and flip-flopping is just self-harming. I mean, please, President Trump, stop. If you want it to go away, just be quiet.
I can only imagine how history will react when they read about Alex Jones and InfoWars. I have some idea, though.
I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity.
You're going to cry in the car.
Leading voices in President Donald Trump's MAGA base who've been critical for days of the president administration's handling of the Epstein files are now rallying to Trump's defense following the story in the Wall Street Journal and are celebrating the administration's move to release grand jury testimony, potentially cooling the backlash amongst his supporters. And in an apparent effort to get out ahead of Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony, Donald Trump's media allies have decided to saddle up beside the prolific trafficker. Offering Maxwell as fodder to Trump's hungry followers is a fascinating carrot and stick option to alleviate some of that tension, but convincing her to talk would most certainly require some kind of deal, an option that pro-Trump conservative media networks started to imagine this week. On Monday, Newsmax host Greg Kelly had already started to dabble in the new media line, suggesting on air that Maxwell didn't deserve her 20-year prison sentence and openly embracing the idea that Epstein associate could be wrongly convicted.
And she's also been subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee. I think this is great. I do have a feeling that she just might be a victim. She just might be. There was a rush to judgment. There was a lot of chaos there for a while. All right, granted, she hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, and I know that's apparently not good.
You just might be an idiot and a shill for the administration and running cover for your dad. But then again, you have hung out with some of the most nefarious characters in both federal and New York political history, which is apparently not good. That is apparently not good. At the end of the day, the success or failure of this will be determined by Trump's MAGA base. And if they can be reliant upon anything at all, it is being completely illogical. In response to that very video, sometimes you have to let one go to capture 500. Who are the 500? Who are the 500? And is the one, I assume the one is going to be Trump. So we let like the most powerful one go in order to capture the 500. That's the kind of stuff they do on SVU that drives me nuts. That's why I don't watch it no more.
What?
To the extent that there were any true victims in the Epstein case versus pros looking to shake down JP Morgan for $10 million, Ghislaine was as much a victim as anyone else. That's so MAGA. That is so MAGA. And I can only hope that person has no women in his orbit. Huh? His account says Washington, D.C. So we got to claim him? Put him over there by RG3.
Well, I've been thinking about this, and I've seen a lot of creators, and big creators especially, how now they're totally talking about President Donald J. Trump's comments about the Epstein files, and, oh, we still on this, and yada, 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 yada. Yet, if you right now are saying that you're not going to support President Trump after the best 6 months in office that the president has completed, and it's only been 6 months, then you were really never either a patriot or you were never really following Trump or supporting Trump for the right reasons.
Okay, I'm curious, what is the line where after X number of months, you decide to let he might be in the Epstein files and complicit in the nastiest of crimes go? Was it at 4 months? Was it at 3 months? Was it at 1 month? One good month? And that could wipe that away? I would love to know. I would love to know what was the amount of time where this kind of thing can be wiped away. And tell me privately, don't go public with it, because then that will become people's motivation to try and get in office. You know, because Trump came in with the purest of motivations to get in office himself. Also, the whole thing about you were not a patriot. Oh, so I actually have been doing a lot of work. I just did a whole video about gerrymandering. I did the whole July 4th video talking about the litany of ways in which MAGA completely subverts the idea of Americanism and patriotism. I get it now. It's branding for you. It has completely divorced itself from the actual meaning of the word. It's just branding, because an actual patriot would be somebody that holds their elected officials accountable, regardless of whether they supported them or not. This blind, dutiful Worship is actually the opposite of patriotism. But see, that doesn't matter because once you get the trademark, you can just put patriotism, you can just blast it on it. I get it. It's branding. It's branding for y'all. Kind of like Christian and also conservative.
You were supporting him perhaps to get followers or to grow on this platform or to make money doing videos. I find it, I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not happy. I wanted to see, and I wanted justice for those victims of the Epstein list. But I feel that right now, we're just touching a situation that's not going to change anything. And pointing the fingers and talking nonsense is really not going to help this.
But not that much. I wanted justice for everybody on the Epstein, but not that much. I not that much. Also, I love the thought that maybe you just supported Trump because you wanted to get followers. And that's why now that there is a principled reason not to support him, you have fallen away. Unlike yourself, who has elevated your platform as a pick me, you know, but not to get followers or attention or anything. I mean, this whole fact that I have made my identity about supporting Donald Trump, regardless of whatever he does, that wouldn't be for attention to get followers or anything like that. Hey, make sure you put that nice little filter. Oh, that's a good filter. I like that. Yeah.
And I feel also that knowing President Donald J. Trump, what a troll and how he thinks, that this is not going to stay undone and something will come up, but I guess he has to have the right time.
Oh, so when it's something we object to, he's trolling. But then he has to feel like it's the right time for him. That's probably why he was mad about the Wall Street Journal thing, because they got out ahead. They got out ahead of his big reveal. You know what I mean? And then, they were kind of trolling him in a way, and he wanted to be the one to reveal that he had written the birthday letter. Yeah. That was probably, I wonder when he was going to break that out. You think he was going to do it for Labor Day? You think that's when he was going to break that out for the big troll for everybody and they messed it up for him?
Instead of focusing on the one thing he says no, because that's typically how people are. You can say 1,000 times yes to a person, but the one time you say no is the only time they remember.
Now, that's true. That's true. I actually just referenced that exact thing about Trump and Wall Street Journal. Ain't he suing Rupert Murdoch and News Corp, who are behind Fox News, that have been the gas behind his entire political career? You are 1,000% correct in that regard. I've said no to you 1,000 times. I'm going to say yes to you on this one.
So what I'm saying with this is, I'm going to continue to follow my president and support the Republican Party because we need to make America great. And these Democrats and liberals and progressives want to do nothing but destroy this country. And I will not allow it. People that I know that are Republicans, we're not going to allow their fuckery.
Hey, you need a caveat. Yeah, because Donald Trump and the Republicans are trying to make America great again, unless it comes to powerful men taking advantage of women. That's going to have to be a carve out now for you. Okay. Well, put that down there in the epilogue.
If you were that creator or that person and I was going to follow Trump and and now all of a sudden he does one little thing and you people go off the deep end, then I agree with him. You're not needed.
Question. They certainly were needed in November. So would you like to do a whole revote? Would you like to do that? Because I think you will fall off of the you're not needed. As far as you do one little thing, what was the one little thing? What was the one little thing to you? Because if it was one little thing, we probably would have the files by now.
We need people that are patriots. We need people that support every single decision that President Donald J. Trump makes, not just the convenient ones for you. Because there's a lot of things here that he supports that are not convenient to me, but I still support my president. So it's up to you. You make that decision. But I know my decision is make America great again, and I stand behind the President of the United States.
Now let's just break down where she landed the plane, because she's talking about how we need to support every single decision that Donald Trump makes. And when you have this kind of blind fealty to anything or anyone, what you are announcing is that your connection isn't about anything tangible. You have ceded. He's done and said things apparently that you didn't agree with. So actually agreeing with the things that he's doing does not undergird your support of this man. What would it be? Because apparently it wouldn't be for popularity or followers or the esteem that you get for connecting yourself to a cult. It wouldn't be that, now would it?
So I'm in Daytona Beach interviewing a lot of people of what they think about Donald Trump's name apparently being on the Jeff Epstein list. A lot of MAGA voters think it's a scam. A lot of people who are Democrats think it's legit. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or you disagree with it. One thing that we all agree on is if Donald Trump actually did something wrong, he should be prosecuted. And if anyone else was involved in it, their names should be released and they should be prosecuted. However...
Why however? Why is there however? You was doing fine. Why? Just like a MAGA. Just like a MAGA. However on they should be prosecuted.
However, it's a little hard to believe that Donald Trump's name is legitimately on the Epstein files, considering all the issues he had to go through, you know, with the Russia hoax, 2020 election, Butler, Pennsylvania. It seems like another government conspiracy. But once again, doesn't matter if you're a MAGA supporter, doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. If he did anything wrong, and if anyone else did anything wrong, they should defend themselves in court, and we should know the details, because enough is enough, my friends.
What does Russia and Butler, Pennsylvania have to do with this? How does that make it hard to believe? Because unlike the two other things that you referenced, he could put this to bed right now. And that's literally exactly, that's all he would finish. That's it. That's all. Kind of like my dad teaching me how to catch. You know what I mean? Like that's also why they laughed me off the baseball field, because he told me to catch like that. It would be all done. Now, as far as you saying it's hard for you to believe, is it?
In a week in which the president has seen the Jeffrey Epstein story continue to boil, in part with his own help, this latest development only added yet more fuel. We learned that his accomplice, who is serving a 20-year sentence for conspiring in the of girls as young as 14, just got her prison accommodations upgraded. Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted co-conspirator in the most notorious child trafficking case on modern record, has been transferred to a federal minimum security prison in Texas, a facility that typically, according to one former FBI agent I spoke to, does not even house offenders without a special waiver.
Just because there's one picture of Trump accidentally standing beside Epstein doesn't mean he had anything to do with him. Trump never parties or drinks. He's focused on making America great again. You know, I actually agree with that. I actually agree with that, because just because you are accidentally next to the same guy repeatedly in your home and his and in your clubs, and you correspond with him accidentally. I mean, he probably sent that birthday letter, you know, kind of like you send that bottle across the ocean. He probably just put whatever address on it and just sent it and just hoping to connect with another human being on a real level. That's what I think it was. And then Jeffrey got it. Yeah. Huh? How you know his name was Jeffrey? That's a popular name. And it definitely was in the 1830s or whenever it was that they was growing up. So yeah, that probably, that's what that was. By the way, since you're talking about one photo, it kind of reminds me of the, I don't know, several hundreds of photos that make 3 minutes of video that was missing from that cell. How about that?
Let's clear up one of the most interesting narratives out there, Trump and Epstein. If you still think Trump stayed friends with Epstein the entire way, it's because you haven't seen the full timeline. So let me show you. 2005. Trump bans Epstein from all Trump properties after finding out he was hitting on a young girl at Mar-a-Lago. Not many people cut Epstein off. Trump did.
Yeah, stop the cap. Stop the cap. He already said that he heard he was recruiting at Mar-a-Lago. And the first time wasn't a ban, so we have to do some work on your numbers.
2006, Epstein gets arrested in Florida. Who helped the victims cooperate with police? Donald Trump. Unlike many elites, Trump actually spoke up. Now, 2008 to 2016, no significant action was taken to reopen the Epstein case during the Obama years. The DOJ left the sweetheart deal untouched.
I'm sorry, did you just reference the sweetheart deal that the DOJ left untouched and not who made it and his relationship to Donald Trump? What are we doing here? You know what? Let me help you out. I got you. Hey, no, I got it. I got you. I gotta go over your homework like my mama did my assignments when she got home from the office. Up until 11th grade.
The president acknowledging both men crossed paths in Palm Beach back in the 90s. NBC News archival video from 1992 shows the president with Epstein at a Mar-a-Lago party alongside cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Mr. Trump greeting guests, including Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
The two chatting and gesturing to those in front of them. At one point, it appears Mr. Trump leans over and tells Epstein she's hot. The video, taken more than a decade before Epstein's plea deal, which made him register as a sex offender in Florida. Between 1993 and 1997, flight logs, released in the trial of Epstein's now convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, show Mr. Trump flew on Epstein's plane multiple times. In 2002, Mr. Trump told New York Magazine, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with." Adding, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." Epstein claiming to author Michael Wolff in 2017 that the two men were at one time very close.
That was close to straight.
There's no other evidence they were that friendly, and the two ended up having a falling out in 2004, according to people who spoke with the Washington Post, over competition for an oceanfront property in Florida. The president has confirmed the friendship ended, though he didn't specify why.
2019, under Trump, the DOJ arrests Epstein, seizes the island, and puts him behind bars. No excuses, no media cover. Now we are in 2020. They take down Ghislaine Maxwell, arrested, prosecuted, locked up, also under Trump's DOJ. 2021 to 2024, with Biden's administration, crickets. Not a single push to dig deeper or expose others involved. Why not? So ask yourself, if Trump was in on it, why would he be the one to shut it all down? That's a very important question. Have a great night.
Okay, now, first of all, he didn't shut it all down. If he would have shut it all down, we wouldn't be here, by the way. Only thing shut down was Congress. I believe Congress was shut down. I see you over there, Mark Wayne Mullen.
I'm sure this would be handled just like any other thing that they've tried to go after, like the baseless impeachments. Or the baseless special counsels, or the unbelievable amount of charges they've tried to file against the president. I'm sure this would be handled the exact same way. What we're simply wanting to do here is give them cover. So if my colleague from Arizona actually wants transparency, then he would drop his objection to my resolution.
My man literally said we want to give them cover. And you talking about shut it all down. Now, to your question, about if they were in on it, why would you want to shut it all down? Now let me see. If in fact you knew that there was some dirt to be hidden, then you could get out in front of that by being party to shutting it all down, now couldn't you? See, these things go multiple ways. These things go multiple. No. You do not have the market cornered on fantasy.
Yes. Yes. Yes!
That was really uncomfortable. I'll be honest. You would have been better using a video where somebody just enthusiastically yells yes, because that was like a pained, like I know about everything, yes, where you are literally communicating that you're okay with excusing what may come. I mean, I feel like posting that was criminal. I'll be honest.
I find it funny that all the negative posts I get, my post actually says Trump supporters.
Did you put that shirt on just to record, or have you been walking around like that all day? I would love to know. No, because if you put it on just to record, I would have a little bit more grace for you. But if you've been walking around like that all day, clearly you have made this your personality. And I already know nothing good can come out of listening to people that have made this their personality. They not about nothing. That's what this whole video is about. Y'all not about nothing. Not religion, not kids, not family, not women. Y'all ain't about nothing. Hold up, that's not true. Adultery. I think we can confidently say they are about adultery.
Feel free to scroll, right? Because I don't post negative comments when I see when I was with the other administration, I could give a shit. I wasn't a fan, but I certainly didn't engage and make negative comments on people's posts. Maybe some, I'm lying, a few. If I want to get my point across with something where I feel like the stupidity is extra, because, a lot of stupidity. So feel free to scroll. I'm a Trump supporter, obviously. Feel free to scroll. You don't have to leave your negative comments or your stupid photos, bullying, because it's filtered, and a lot of them are getting removed by TikTok. So again, feel free to scroll. I'm proud of my president. That's it. You don't have to be. I am. Bye. Take care. Brush your hair. Unreal.
Oh, you should be proud. Yeah, you should definitely be proud. It sounds like you have the right value system for you to be proud. To your whole point about you didn't comment under other people's posts that were talking about Biden unless they were too stupid. You answered your question. You answered your question. You want me to tell you why people are commenting under your post?
Because, a lot of stupidity.
There you have it. MAGA, this is a bad look. And I'll be honest, because unlike the media members that can't necessarily ignore this, they have footage to fill and time to fill. I mean, that's its own level of shameful and disgusting, and they will be dealt with. But y'all don't have to say nothing. None of y'all had to press record or post. You could have just sat there and waited, even if you were a Trump supporter, and let this all play out. But no, y'all want to go make sure that you communicate to the world that this possibility is not a bridge too far for you, which is why, as I stated earlier, y'all ain't about nothing. I know that ain't who I think it is.
Boy, well, how you frame that question? I would frame the question like, you got a chance to go visit with the president, man. What was that experience like? It was amazing. It was awesome. And I promise you, I root for our president. I want our president to be successful, just like I want my quarterback to be successful. and I want my team to be successful. And it was an amazing experience. You know, it's not often you get invited and you get a chance to do something like that as a family. You know, we were there. My daughter was there. Jim's daughters were there. My mom and dad were there. My mom and President Trump. You know, just seeing how he treated her was really meaningful.
Lamar Jackson really went through those running back and wide receiver allegations for you to glad hand with King DEI? Is that what we're doing? That's going to hit hard on the streets of Baltimore. I can tell you that right now.
My name was on the street. And we bounce from this shit here, I'm going to go down in them corners, let them people know. Word did not get back to me.
Yeah, I can tell you the streets of Baltimore love that immunity. And them ice sweeps, that's going great. That is going great. It's going to hit hard in LA too. I can tell you that. It's going to hit real hard in LA. I'm glad you brought Jim into it. He must be thrilled. Leave it to the NFL. Huh? Why the Ronaldo jersey? Cause these MAGAs still on Trump after Epstein remind me of the people that still try and argue that Ronaldo was better than Messi. I mean, really, like people who just refuse to acknowledge logic and plain facts. Also because it was purple. Mostly because it was purple. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out. Now, it may come as a surprise to some of you, but I don't always record these videos, you know, clean from beginning to end. Thank you guys. What did I call it?
Sad, and you hate to see it, but more than that, you love to see it.
Well, I thought that might be content that some of you guys might be interested in. So members, be on the lookout for some outtake videos that are going to hit the timeline soon. I also want to send a shout out to everybody that's reached out to me at admin@reesewaters.com. I very much appreciate all your comments and suggestions. And I try and respond to as many as I can. But there was one in particular from Holly who said, "Hi, Reese, I know you use Patreon for other reasons. I don't need that from you. I watch you on YouTube. Do you have a PayPal account?" In fact, I do. My PayPal, as well as my Cash App and my T app are all in the descriptions to all of the videos. You can find them right there. Also, I want to send a shout out to Renee and Lenitra who sent me these photos with their Reese Waters mugs. As well as this one. Wait a minute. No, that's not mine. Thank you guys so much for the pictures as well as the support. And if you would like to send in some photos or contribute or send me a note or anything like that, admin@reesewaters.com. Now, I know we have a lot of talent and skills in this community, and I'm looking for something in particular, because you'll notice in looking at the pictures around my website, a very robust, lustrous mane of hair. Well, times have changed. Yeah, I got my enhancement game turned up to the max. And I am looking for somebody who can recommend a good man unit. So if you know somebody, or if you are somebody who can recommend or even install a good man unit, go ahead and hit me up. But it's got to be via email, because we're going to keep that on the low. Yesterday, Cookie Bush. Tomorrow, cornrows.